Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then I'm so happy to meet you, and if you are returning, then thank you so much for always supporting me. It honestly means so much. And I just want to say I'm so sorry for the lack of uploads and that I've been away for a while and you haven't seen me. I've missed you all so much, and if you're still here waiting for me, then I couldn't be any more grateful than what I already am. So thank you for always being patient with me and just waiting for me to come back. Honestly, you all mean the world to me, as you already know. So thank you so much. So as I'm here with a big catch up, pause the video and go and get yourself a drink. Have an Earl Grey. The best. And let's get into the vlog. Why have I been away? So, talk about why I've been away. To be honest, a lot of things have got on top of me, and you know, you just feel really overwhelmed. Well, I just needed to have a break from everything social media, Facebook, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, just everything. I just needed to delete all the apps and just have a break, because I just felt really overwhelmed with everything that was going on. And I just felt, you know, like when you have a drawer and you just throw everything in. Well, that's how my brain felt. It just felt like everything was just cluttering up in my brain, and it just felt horrible. And I just needed a break. Then I had the really sad news that my nan had passed away. My mum's mum, my nanny Rose. You've probably seen vlogs in the past where I've held her hand or whatever, but we never, because she's got dementia. Well, she had dementia, so we didn't really put her on social media out of respect, really. But I'll do the odd vlog if I visited her, and I'd hold her hand in the vlog. But she battled dementia for 10, right there. She battled dementia for 17 years, 18 years. I was 18. Well, me and my cousin Amy, we had our 18th birthdays. Well, Amy had hers first, a few days before. And she had wrote little messages on every page of my cousin's guest book for her 18th birthday. So that was the first sign that was off. And then at my birthday I had a barbecue for my 18th in my back garden, and she was going somewhere else after, like, my little barbecue, and she put makeup on, but she made herself look like a clown, like she had kept it on, which was very unlike her. So that was the second sign. And then she just slowly progressed this dementia over the years. So although we had sort of grieved her while she was still here, if that makes sense. So we grieved the loss of her because she was an insane mind, like we were slowly losing her. And then towards the end, the past couple of years, she was bedridden and she couldn't move and she couldn't speak or anything. So we had lost her already, if that makes sense. So we had done that sort of grieving, and then when we got the news that she had passed away, I mean, she is a fighter, bless her. She fought 18 years. And then when we got the news that she had passed away, it just hit us again. I'm welling up. Yeah, it just hit us again, that, you know, that grief again, like it was an whole new different grief. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to cry. Well, I didn't plan to cry in this vlog. Dry my eyes. Yeah, so then when we had the funeral for my nan, which was a few weeks after she had passed away, it felt a little bit like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, like closure from that grief, like she wasn't suffering anymore. So yeah, and then I went through a stage where I sort of was realising who was there for me and who wasn't there for me. So I sort of went through that stage as well, and feeling like I was losing people, and I was gaining people and losing people, and so on and so on. Like who was good for me and who was bad for me, sort of thing. And sometimes, I don't know, it's overwhelming because I felt like I had to sort of deal and battle with things alone, if that makes sense. Like I was on my own to deal with things, so that was hard at times as well. So firstly though, what set me off to start feeling overwhelmed was my healthy eating. Like since my birthday, I feel like I've been a little bit up and down with my weight loss. And I was yo-yoing really bad, so like I'd lose a pound, gain a pound, lose 2 pound, gain a pound, lose 2 pound, gain a pound, so on and so on. But then when I lost my nan, no, sorry, let me go back to how it all started. Yeah, and I just got really fed up because I felt like I'd fallen off that bandwagon and I just wanted to get back onto it, if that makes sense, but it had already gone. So I sort of had to give myself that break to reset myself so I could have a fresh start. And I was yo-yoing really, really bad. I think what I need to do as well is go over the goals what I had set myself at the beginning of the year and just reset myself from there. Since my nan, on the first couple of weeks of losing my nan, I gained 8 pound, and then it sort of slowly crept up to a stone. So then I was sort of kicking myself, if that makes sense. And so from having RJ, yeah, I've gained a pound really from my smallest since having RJ. So then I sort of started going, no, I've got to get back into it, like sort of beating myself up, I've got to get back into it. I can't be putting no more weight on and blah blah blah. And obviously I felt overwhelmed because of that, because I was sort of arguing with myself instead of accepting, look, you've gone through an hard time. You've gone through an hard time, as when I lost my nan, I was comfort eating, so that really didn't help because I always turn to food for comfort when I'm having a hard time, if that makes sense. And that first couple of weeks of losing my nan, I'd gained 8 pound, which crept up to a stone. I mean, losing my nan, who I had so many great memories with, I'm setting myself off again, who I had so many great memories with, which will obviously stay in my heart forever. I've tried to film this without crying, but I'm just going to accept the fact that I'm going to cry. Yeah, she was on the end of life for like 10 years. I keep stopping and trying to wipe my tears, but they keep coming back, so I've just got to accept the fact that you're going to cry, Shan, just allow it. So I do apologise. Sorry that she was back. She was on the end of life for the last 10 years, so she really was a fighter. And getting the news that she had passed away really, really broke my heart. Like I was just planning on just coming back to YouTube, and then I got that news and it just set me back, and I was like, no, now's not the time. So I waited till after the funeral. She had the funeral about 2-3 weeks back. Bless her heart, she really was a fighter. I've probably said that about 10 million times in this video. I mean, I went through a stage where I felt really guilty for not having the chance to say goodbye. But then a few days later I realised that she had sent robins. I mean, some of you may believe in it, some of you may not. But it was just a certain way these robins, before the day before I got the news, no, the weekend before I got the news. I'm not sure if any of you watched my TikTok of I think I did like a day in the life, and RJ and I went to like a calf. We went to like a calf, and at the end I showed these robins. They just stayed with us. It was weird. Like on the Saturday morning, 2 days before we got the news that she had passed that morning, Saturday morning there was a robin. I was making a drink in my mum's kitchen, in our kitchen, and a little robin sat on the fence, and it was just looking in. I'd never thought anything of it. I just said to myself, yeah, when loved ones are near, robins appear. And then later that day we went to that little calf, and I don't know, something, before we left I said to Audrey, shall we sit outside? We was on our own. Shall we sit outside and have a little drink before we go? And then this robin came and sat on our table, and then it flew away and sat on the floor right by us on the next table, but no one was around. And it stayed there for ages. I mean, normally they just fly away. Like me and RJ was walking closer to it, and it was just staying there. And then it flew on top of like these shed things by the table, and it just sat there whistling for ages. It was so cute. But then on the Sunday, we went to the gym, I think it was, and when we drove back we saw another robin. And then on the Monday we had the bad news that she had passed away. But then a few days later I realised that that was probably her saying goodbye, if that makes sense. If I can find a picture I'll show you a picture here. But I don't know, it was just something like, it all happened, it like warmed my heart, if it makes sense. I know, I just realised I say if it makes sense a lot, but yeah, if that really does make sense, it did warm my heart. But yeah, that is why I haven't been filming for YouTube. But I have so many updates that I have filmed over the past couple of weeks, which you will finally start seeing now after I've put this out. I'm going to edit it now and put it straight out there, so then I can start posting what I've already filmed, if that makes sense. So then we can have a really big catch up. But yeah, when I get a chance, hopefully next week sometime, I'm going to get my goals out and go over them and just have a little chat with them and little chat with you about them and get back on plan, because I really need to, and I really want to, and I am definitely going to. That stone's going to come back off, although it is Friday today and I have weighed myself this week. I have lost £3, which I'm pleased with. So yeah, I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all so much for understanding and always sticking around and just always, you know, showing up for me and being there. And I just want to say how grateful I am and thankful I am. Honestly, I couldn't be happier or appreciate each and every one of you any more than what I already do. So thank you so much for always sticking around. And I want to love you all and leave you, and I shall see you all in my next one. Love you all so much. Bye.